Welcome aboard. If you watched the information video right through before you registered, you'll have seen there's a few problems facing stock photographers. Without going into it all again, I think most people will agree that at most mainstream stock libraries, prices are ridiculously low, competition is through the roof, and most photographers are going to tell you that sales are erratic at best. Even worse, the workload for photographers has grown considerably in recent years, and yet all the mainstream stock libraries are still charging 50% commissions on any sales. What concerns me most about the situation, though, is that there's no real option with this business model for the photographer to grow a real business. The whole process is a series of one-off sales, and after that, the photographer finds themselves back at square one every time. Basically, we decided mainstream stock isn't delivering, so we created a better business model. It's evolved over the last 14 years, and it's unlike anything you might have seen before. But for all that, it's simple to use and makes efficient use of your time through automation and leveraging your efforts. It gives you multiple hands-on options, and best of all, your results are cumulative. That means you can achieve real long-term growth while staying in total control. In short, instead of chasing random photo sales over and over and over, we're going to help you build a real long-term sustainable business. And it all starts with a stock photo catalogue, much like you'd find at any other library. You start by submitting your photos to the library, and at Global Eye, we only need low-res previews. So immediately you're saving serious time. If you've ever prepped a big batch of high-res images for a library, you'll know how long that can take and how frustrating it can be when the library rejects half your images. With Global Eye, we only need low-res, so you can get them published quick and easy and get on with more profitable activities. As soon as your images are published, you get immediate exposure to our existing client list. Right now, that's over 22,000 registered photo buyers. And when they find your images, they're prompted for usage details, and if you've got the calculator enabled, they're shown a price. If they accept it, you get a license request, and you just contact them to arrange payment and delivery. If you prefer a little more control, you can disable the calculator, in which case you'll get a quote request with all the same information. You provide a quote. If they accept, again, you just make contact to arrange payment and delivery. Other times you might get general photo requests that are posted to all our contributing photographers any time a buyer can't find what they need in the library. You might also get some great leads for photography work and assignments. However the leads arrive though, you deal directly with the buyer every time. So there's little more work involved when there's a sale on offer, but the big payoff is we don't charge any commissions on your sales. So when you consider the time you save by not having to prep high-res images and the little bit of extra work involved when there's a sale on offer, it really is a small investment that effectively doubles your returns. Gets even better though with our unique content-based photography marketing system. At most libraries, once you submit your images, you're expected to sit around and basically wait around for buyers to arrive to the library, find your images and decide to buy. Your only option for growing your business is to submit more images. There's not a lot else you can do. Well, at Global Eye, we believe that approach is ignoring the real power of the internet and seriously disadvantaging the photographers. And the real opportunity here is for users to find specific content themselves using the search engines. Unfortunately for photographers, it's very hard to rank well in the search engines for images alone. Search engines rely on written content, and most stock libraries are only structured to publish basic captions and maybe a few keywords with each image. So when you consider how many thousands of images are out there on any given subject, there's little in the way of unique content published that the search engines can actually use. So at Global Eye, we use a content publishing system to group your images into specially designed search engine optimized pages. Done properly, these pages can rank extremely well in the search engines for any number of subjects, far better than you ever would for individual images. It's quite a simple process. You work in batches of related images for maximum efficiency, then you add them to the library, put them all into one of our special lightbox pages, and then take 12 of the best and make those into a gallery. These pages are fully optimized for the search engines, and their value compounds as you add more and more pages over time, giving your website authority status in the eyes of the search engines by building a content-rich web presence around a few strong themes. Best of all, it doesn't matter if any of this makes sense to you or not. We've set it up so you can simply follow the prompts, fill in the blanks and submit your work, publish the content pages, and then let us go to work on your behalf. And that's where it gets super powerful. First of all, we announce your new content on our websites, which is republished across our private blog network. These announcements are republished to a network of microblog sites, including Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, and others, all for additional backlinks and exposure. We then bookmark each of those items in 28 social bookmarking services. Finally, our system gathers those links and turns them into an RSS feed, which is then submitted to over 100 news aggregator services, and then pinged in another 88 search engines after that. Again, if that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, it honestly doesn't matter. All you need to know is every time you publish a new set of photos using our content-based photography marketing system, you also create 2 search engine-friendly content-rich pages. And we create about 6 to 8 blog posts, at least 35 direct backlinks, and well over 100 second-tier backlinks, all feeding back towards your content. This is known as a link pyramid. What this means to you is, as well as adding a set of photos to your catalogue, you're also generating some serious and lasting exposure. You get near-instant indexing by Google, Yahoo and Bing, which account for 98% of all search engine traffic, and you'll get targeted traffic to your pages from the various posts we make. The backlinks and SEO juice will all combine to increase your search engine rankings, which in turn will mean even more highly targeted traffic from the search engines. And over time, this keeps on building to generate authority status for your website. Without getting too technical, this means that each time you repeat this process, the results are cumulative, and Google is going to view your presence even more favourably as it continues to identify fresh new content, strong common themes through an ever-increasing content base. Basically, Google is going to see regularly added content being linked to from other quality websites, so it's going to assume your web pages are authoritative on your subjects, and the more pages you create, the more weight they carry and the more respect Google will give you. And even better, because we have hundreds of photographers all working through this process for their own subjects, adding content to our network of stock libraries, we're also building even greater authority for our network as a whole. The main thing to remember is your contribution is quite simple. It's pretty much plug-and-play photography marketing. You add a new set of photos, you package them in a couple of simple page formats, you add 2 to 3 paragraphs of written text, and we'll show you how to do that even if you're not a writer, and then we do everything else. You just rinse and repeat to keep building volume. And if you were to stop there, you'd still be light years ahead of any other stock library. For the go-getters though, there's also the option to pretty much generate sales on demand. Once you've made your lightbox, there are tools you can use to find potential buyers for those images. You find all that you can and you send them each an invite. You might find 1, you might find 2, you might find 20. Either way, the worst case scenario is, even if no one buys these images this time around, most will respond, and once you've made that contact, you can add them to your personal client list. These become prospects you can contact with other images and ideas anytime you like and develop long-term business relationship with. Best case scenario, they'll come straight back to you and say, yes please, can I use those images? It might not be traditional stock photography, but in the current business climate, we believe this is an essential option for anyone serious about building a viable photography business. In fact, our best performing photographers take it a step further and start by researching the clients. Then they create a custom lightbox for each. They handpick relevant images for the client, include the company name in the page text, and make a real personal connection with the buyer, and they get some amazing results for their efforts. Again, this is something you simply cannot do at a traditional mainstream stock library. Sales on demand and a personal list of photo buyers who need subjects you shoot. That's something that's pretty much unique to Global Eye. Okay, that covers about 90% of the Global Eye package, and most people won't do much more than submit and publish their content and hopefully send out a few lightbox invites each month. Good news is there's multiple revenue streams and options built into the package, and many of these are automated or at least set and forget. Here's a few of the other ways you can earn with the Global Eye photography business system. You start with the traditional hands-free photo sales, the photo license requests and the quote request as mentioned, and also the general photo requests. Assignment leads are a real growth area, with local search taking a whole new life recently. We're seeing a lot of activity there. Of course, there's also direct sales from shared lightboxes. You can also use the lightboxes for event photography. This is big, and we've got a lot of photographers using these to sell prints and digital files to attendees at all kinds of special events, sports events, especially kids sports, weddings, corporate events, nightclubs and more. Basically, your imagination's the only limit there. And because you have full direct contact and your own list of buyers, at any time you can generate follow-up and repeat sales to your own client list. This is something you simply can't do at any other stock library on the planet. We also have retail options for your non-commercial visitors, and there's a lot more of those than you'd think. Plus you can earn affiliate commissions on third-party products and services offered on your pages. You can even earn recurring commissions by introducing new photographers through the Global Eye Partner Program. For all that, the important thing to remember is comprehensive does not have to mean complicated. We start you off with a simple step-by-step setup tool designed to get you through the setup, do it once and do it right. In fact, 90% of your Global Eye account is set and forget. We'll couple that with an extensive knowledge base and video collection covering every aspect of your new photography business system. And we back it all up with real person support to ensure there's always someone available to lend a hand if you get stuck. We also have a photographer business forum where you can interact with other members, look for help or inspiration, share ideas, or lend a hand yourself with newer members. You see, for all the advances we've made in the 14 years we've been doing this, at the end of the day we're still just a group of like-minded photographers working together to increase our exposure, reduce our costs and sell more photos. The tools are powerful and the systems behind it are quite complex. The process for you is super simple. Submit your photos, make a lightbox, publish your gallery and leave the rest to us. It doesn't get any easier. In fact, we published a detailed guide to this whole process that you can download in the members area we called Keeping It Simple. And even with detailed step-by-step instructions, extensive background information and several optional advanced steps, it still only takes up about 6 pages. That's how simple and easy it is. So where to from here? Well, if you want more information, you'll find an even more detailed run-through of our business model below. It runs for about 15 minutes and shows you all the various pieces and how they all fit together. Below that, there's a link to a comparison of Global Eye and your more traditional mainstream stock libraries. A lot of people have found that a handy way to put everything in perspective. And if you have remaining questions, you'll find a detailed knowledge base below that with a heap of articles, videos, ebooks and frequently asked questions. So that should fill in any remaining gaps. So once you're clear on what we're offering, if you decide it could be good for you, I'll ask you to submit a short application. It's really quite simple, just some background information and a few sample photos. Check the notes on that and make a start while you're here. Get stuck into it now and you should knock it over in 30 minutes or so. Remember, there's no cost and no obligation here, just the opportunity to find out if we could be a good match for each other. I look forward to seeing some of your work when you're done. Thanks.